Everybody, we are live. It is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. We are a third of the month into 2022, and can you believe it? I can't. Things have been moving so fast. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with our technical issues as we get everything started here on a live stream. Sometimes the streaming software doesn't want to cooperate. Not a whole lot we can do about that, but we got everything up and running. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're going to let everybody load into the live stream. We have lots of people in. We have Bobby Kreider is here. Texas Hiker 76. Ralph Potts, as always, has joined. Thank you for joining, Ralph. 𝙂𝙊𝙇𝙀𝙍 is here. Fantana Ranja and many others are here. We're going to let people load into the live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about gold, why it's the ultimate form of money, and why the BIS basically says it is, but the mainstream financial media will never tell you that. In fact, a lot of people will tell you that gold is a relic, an article of the past that is no longer needed. You'll have financial experts, Bitcoin people, everybody tell you the same thing. We have them tell it to us all the time, except for the fact that the central bankers of the world admit that that's not true, that as a matter of fact, gold is the ultimate asset. We're going to be going over that in this live stream today. Also got some exciting news from the Denver event. Had so much fun with Ninja Nation, with his friends, Heresy Financial, Wall Street Silver, with Nobody Special Finance and Financial Fitness. Everybody joining in that event. It was a lot of fun. We met at Loaded Bar on Saturday evening for about 4.5 hours and had a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of people, those of you that follow Gold Silver Pros, as well as those that follow some of the other guys. And we had a whole lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Fast Eddie is in the house. Irish 2020 is here. Jesse Cabasa is in the house. Anthony is here. Kenneth Martin, hey, how you doing, buddy? 𝙎𝙄𝙊𝙇𝙬 of Arcadia Economics has dropped by the live stream. How are you doing, Yara? Yara, the greatest thing about going to Denver was Yara is a native of Denver. At least she's lived there for a number of years and showed us around in this really great Indian restaurant I got to tell you guys about later. Was just awesome. Dude Boy is here. Nick Collishaw is here. Truck Boy 383. Thanks for the comment, Yara. This is, as she knows, the hat that we went shopping for in Denver. A little bit of a new one. I like this one quite a bit. All right, we're going to start talking about the subject of tonight's live stream. Again, thank you everybody for being patient as we had technical difficulties for the first few minutes. What are we talking about today? Well, I'm going to bring up a topic we talked about before, but it needs re-emphasizing because I go out into the world and meet people live like we did in Denver. I realize a lot of people really don't know this. It's that the central bank, and not only the central banks of the world, but the central bank of the central banks, the BIS, considers gold the ultimate form of money, and this is no lie. Well, how do I know this? Is because of some publications that they have been releasing over and over again that tell us this. So as I was speaking to my friend James Anderson of SD Bullion earlier today, we were doing a recording that will come out Thursday on the channel. Stay tuned for that. He was bringing up the point that the BIS has published something called the Money Flower, a taxonomy of currency. So this is the original tweet that James had from his account some time back, and it was published in Bloomberg Business Week. But if you look at the Money Flower, this is from the BIS publication on October 15, 2018. So this is over 3 years ago, 3 years and a couple months. And they're talking about the Money Flower. They're talking about how money or what type of money there is in the system. And they've got four main categories. Is it widely accessible? Is it digital? Is it central bank issued? And is it token based? And think of this as a series of Venn diagrams all overlaid on one another. Instead of two circles, we basically get four ellipses. And where these ellipses meet, you have certain types of currency. Notice at the very bottom, gold right here. And notice that private digital tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, et al. Are above gold on the chart, meaning gold is at the very bottom. It is your base money, and everything else, in other words, ladies and gentlemen, is a derivative, including cash, including private digital tokens, the wholesale ones. And we'll get into a moment what they mean by that because there's an update to the Money Flower. The central bank digital tokens, the central bank digital tokens wholesale, central bank digital accounts, central bank reserves, bank deposits, and everything else is a derivative of the ultimate form of money, gold, according to who? The Bank for International Settlements, which is the central bank of central banks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what do you suppose that actually means? If the central bank of central banks, the overseer of all the central banks that are implementing fiat currency and now central bank digital currencies, is saying that gold is the ultimate asset and the ultimate money in the system, who are we to argue with that? Which one of us is going to argue with that point? I don't think any of us is going to argue with that point. But wait, it doesn't stop there, because as the digital currencies have matured, we now have an update of the money flower. And this is from the current publication of the BIS. This is right here at BIS.org. And you can see an updated money flower graph. Now they started to fill in some of these digital coins. Notice that precious metals, including gold, and it seems to indicate also silver, are at the base of the money tree. They are the ultimate form of riskless money, gold and silver. What's on top of that? Bitcoin and cash. Utility settlement coins, maybe such as XRP or others that are used to settle, or maybe other types of coins. Now they're naming the central bank digital currency, such as Fed coin. That will be the US's version of the central bank digital currency. Then you've got CAD coin for Canadian coin. Then over here, you've got electric money. Okay, that would be a Spanish version of electric currency. Then you have central bank reserves. Then you have just electronic, but not central bank issued, not universally accessible, things like Polka coin. And then you have in here things that are electronic and universally accessible, such as M-Pesa, Venmo, those types. I would probably throw in PayPal there as well. Then you've got peer-to-peer systems, which are not necessarily electronic and not necessarily central bank issued, including Berkshires and Bristol Pounds. Now, what to know about this is all of this crap up here is a derivative of what? Precious metals coins, which meet all of the requirements of money. It's at the bottom of the money tree. Why? Because it is the ultimate form of money. So I just wanted to point that out. I know we've talked about that on the channel some time back, but I wanted to emphasize that again, ladies and gentlemen. Gold and now silver, according to the BIS, is the ultimate form of money. Take it from the people that produce the fiat currency and that rule the world in terms of finance. That is the central bankers, and the BIS is nothing but the central bank of the central banks. It is the tippy top of the financial pyramid in the world, I would say, along with the IMF, who implements policy recommendations. The BIS says gold is your ultimate money, and now silver, not digital currencies, not private digital currencies, not central bank digital currencies, not cash, not Venmo, not Pokecoin, not settlement tokens, none of that garbage. Gold and silver sit at the bottom of that. And that's why, according to Basel III, ladies and gentlemen, gold is a high quality liquid asset when hedged in the market. In fact, it is the ultimate high quality liquid asset. The BIS is basically admitting that. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We've got Kevin W. joining us. Dumb Money Media is here. Irish 2020. Chase Wilson is here. Yashin Israel is here. Nick Kalashaw is here. I think I've got everybody. John Bethea is here. Remember, guys, super chats are open if you want to grab my attention. You have a question, because this is a live and we're doing a Q&A as we always do. It seems like we're doing these every Tuesday. It's becoming a tradition here on Gold Silver Pros. Or if not, just put a question into the chat and I'll see if I can catch up with it. Very simple concept, but I thought very, very important concept. One other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is something that James pointed out to me today that you'll see in Thursday's video. Here's a cool site called tracktherecovery.org, and we're talking about consumer spending. One of the things I've talked about on the channel lately is that consumers have run out of cash and they're using credit card debt. Credit card debt has exploded. I think it was twice what the expectation was for the previous month. We also pointed out that Q4 sales were flatline when you consider inflation from last year. So we have flatlining sales in Q3 and Q4 of 2021. We have customers who have run out of cash and are maxing out total spending on the credit cards. So the spending has gone up since April 1 of last year, and it's now going on credit cards. The credit card numbers are absolutely exploding. Why is this, and how does this tie into the money flower? Because, ladies and gentlemen, inflation. When the central bank prints a bunch of cash, products in society get more expensive. The inflation of the money supply, when it's higher than the GDP production of the world, which it is, leads to higher prices chasing a lesser amount of goods, or an amount of goods not expanding as fast as the world's money supplies. The BIS knows this. That's why they put precious metals at the bottom of the money tree and not cash and not Bitcoin and not Fed coin and any of that garbage. Now, what's happening is consumers are spending more. Why? Because prices are going up. Month on month, and year of inflation continues to move up. Plus, they've run out of cash. Now they're jacking up their credit cards. This is the end of the consumer-driven economy. You already have a ton of mortgage debt. They have a ton of auto debt. They have a ton of credit card debt. There's no help coming. The only thing that the government can do at this point is just print money, print money, and print money. And what does that do? It's going to raise the value of precious metals. So when the system busts and all the derivative controls are broken in controlling the gold and silver spot price, what's going to be the most valuable thing on this money flower? It's going to be what's at the base of the money flower. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the precious metals coins. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, gold and silver. It's simple if you follow the data and listen to what they say and the publications that they put out there for you. It's not rocket science. So if anybody comes and tells you, you need to get into Bitcoin, it's the ultimate money, that's not what the central banks consider money. And they want to run their central bank digital currencies, and they're going to fight the private digital tokens. They're going to use that technology, but they're going to fight them. And it's not cash. We already know that. It's not Fed coin, even the central bank digital currencies. They admit that. They admit that. They admit it's gold and silver. Dumb Money Media comes in, working on a commercial for a mining company. As soon as I'm not sick, though. Did you see the volume on Gold Mining Inc. and 𝙎𝙄𝙃? I loaded up. Yes. So Gold Mining Inc. and 𝙎𝙄𝙃 have done a couple of things. One, they're advertising, but also they're getting very popular because of their business model. So you're going to see those prices go up. Thank you for the comment, Dumb Money Media. Excuse me. And because you mentioned it, Dumb Money Media, I did want to talk about one of the sponsors on our show. This will be a real quick sponsor segment, but I did want to point something out for those of you who are following this company. We had the CEO on a round table of this company sometime back in December, and I wanted to take a note to introduce you to St. James Gold Corp. They trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture under LORD and the OTC QB here in the US under LRDJF. So if you're a US investor, you can go to the OTCs. The QB is a nice listing, lots of liquidity there for you. Or if you have access to the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture, you can trade them under LORD. They have provided an update. This is sometime back in December. They have completed their 2021 drill exploration program on the Florin Gold Project in the Yukon Territory. They've had capital financings of $10 million to continue their exploration program in 2022. They have now listed on the FSE, which is in Europe, and the OTCQB markets to make their stock more liquid and more accessible to the world markets. And they've got a DTC listing in the OTC market, which just means it's one of the more liquid and easy to get to listings on OTC, which has different layers. And the commencement of work exploration activities on its Newfoundland claims. So they have done a whole bunch of stuff with St. James Gold to end up 2021. We'll be following them for 2022 as well. Hope you guys will follow us and follow that coverage. I've spoken to that company several times. I do like their company. I think they have an excellent project in a great jurisdiction that has really high rates of metal. If you're interested, I'll do another video on them in the future. For those of you that like to invest in the mining stocks, a lot of you do. Welcome everybody for jumping in. We've got Peter Frowine joining us. It's not a live stream unless Peter's there. Thank you, Peter, for joining us. Kurt Lentz says, Rob, I'm trying to get you and Chris and Yar to work with me on a business venture. Multi-value beneficial. Can we discuss this, please? I'm not a scam. I'm a food producer, seafood. Sure. So just email us. You know our email addresses. It's on the websites. We'll take a look at it. Have no problem with that. Although I will say I've got a lot of business ventures going right now, so I'll have to see how much bandwidth I have. Nick Collishaw has a comment. If you like risk and are greedy with money to burn, go buy Bitcoin. Silver is for champions of liberty and free markets, not supporters of hopelessly manipulated ones, as all the crypto exchanges are. Thank you for the comment, Nick. Appreciate that. Oh, we're doing good today, guys. This is not going to be a super long live stream. I'm going to go another few minutes, and then I've got to cook dinner and got to take the son to Taekwondo. But I wanted to reach out to you guys because we were gone over the weekend in Denver at the Ninja Nation and Friends event where we attended. We had probably 150 or so people join. It was a lot of fun. I have an interview coming up on Sunday from that with Yar from Arcadia Economics, channel moderator Michael Sayre, and also Gold and Silver Data Extraordinaire on Twitter, and also Dave Kranzer from Investment Research Dynamics, one of the favorite people of the channel. Stay tuned to that on Sunday. Thursday, we have James Anderson of SD Bullion coming up. We've already got that recorded, and I've got a very special announcement, guys. Yes, we are doing yet another, because we love doing this, event for you guys. It's going to be free to you guys. You guys are absolutely going to love this. What the heck am I talking about? I'm talking about a virtual conference, because this is what we do best. This will be our 4th virtual conference. We're going to start doing these once a quarter. Why do we want to do them once a quarter? Well, when we do the Money Metal Summit every August, the one thing that I hear is people want us to get out to the virtual conferences more often. They want to hear the speakers more often. They want to reach out to us more often. They want to be a part of that community that we build around this virtual conference. So guess what? The link is down below in the description. We have the 2022 Metals Kickoff Conference coming January 26th to a computer screen or a mobile device near you. It will start at 1 p.m. Central Time and end at 6 p.m. Central Time. We have a bunch of awesome speakers coming, headlined by James Anderson giving the keynote from SD Bullion, 𝙂𝙊𝙇𝙍𝙊𝙎 from Crescat Capital, John Fennick from Fennick Consulting, Dave Kranzler from Investment Research Dynamics, Andy Schechtman from Miles Franklin, another favorite of the channel. And we have companies that will be there. If you're interested in investing in the stocks, you'll be able to talk to the teams at Silver Viper Minerals, Tier 1 Silver, Silver Hammer, Reina Silver, Contango Ore, and 𝙤𝙊𝙇. To register for the event, you just click this little button right here, and it will take you to this Hopin page. You have to have a Hopin account, and as long as you're logged into Hopin, you can sign up for a ticket. I've already got my ticket, so it just says join event, but if you haven't signed up, it'll say grab ticket. Free ticket, doesn't cost you anything. You just hit the ticket button and you'll get an email confirming. And of course, we're going to have this on Hopin like we always do. And you're going to be able to see all of the presentations, the company presentations, the keynote speech from James, 𝙂𝙊𝙇𝙍𝙊𝙎, John Fennick, and then a roundtable with myself, Andy, and Dave at the end. And then even the most favorite part is right here, guys. From 5:10 to 6 p.m. Central Time on January 26th, we're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to break out into a session. You guys can come on screen, ask us any questions you want. We're going to do that for about 45, 50 minutes. And that's going to be our meet and greet. You can reach out to us and talk to us directly. Again, if you want to register, check the link, the description for the link. Click here to register to the event. And we will definitely see you there on January 26th. I'm going to continue to advertise this, guys, as we move forward. All the speakers are there, got everything set up. We're giving you guys what you want. You wanted more frequent virtual conferences for us to reach you and for you guys to attend and be a part of the community. And we're making sure it's interactive, that you guys can come talk to us during the conference in person, jump on screen, or just do audio if you want. Ask us any question you want. We will be there, again, free of charge to you. Look forward to seeing you there January 26th, 1 to 6 p.m. Central Time. Great speakers. You guys are going to love it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Keller's Cars says, how long until the banks roll over and go long? This year, perhaps? Seems like now or never, right? I think one of the banks is purported to have gone long. Was it JP Morgan? I'm not sure they all are. They're still net short. The top 4 and 8 positions on COMEX are still net short. We know that. I think they'll go long when the writing is on the wall because they're not going to lose money. And remember, it's not just the futures positions, it's the options. They take futures and options and they use the futures to drive the price towards their option strike. That's what they want. If they can drive it to the option strike, they can make money double time. They can make it on options and the futures. Until we see both of those markets sort of reverse to the long side, I don't think they're quite ready. Meanwhile, they are draining liquidity out of registered inventories on the COMEX. How do I know that? Because I look at the COMEX data. What they're doing is they're pulling metals off. So if we look at CME Group silver, which I'm going to right now, and we do like NYMEX deliveries, we can see as we look at the chart. In fact, let's just go over here. I'm going to share screen and we're going to look at this together. Even though the derivative prices have not taken off, what they're doing is they're removing stocks. So let's look at silver stocks. And this is actually going to come out into Excel. So I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to come right back in Excel and share this Excel spreadsheet. And here you go. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. If you can see the numbers. If we look down at silver troy ounces as reported 1/11/2022, that's today. Let's expand this out so we get rid of the number signs. You can see right here in registered, only 81,333,412 ounces in registered. I don't care about eligible and total because eligible is private storage. The CME Group admitted that they have no clue how much of this number right here, they have no clue how much of this data could come back into eligible for trading. Okay, so registered is what can be, doesn't have to be, what can be put forth towards a physical delivery contract. That's this column or this number right here. Total registered, 81 million. Okay. Total eligible is private storage that is in the hands of an individual private holder or a group holder that cannot be put forward to a contract unless it is moved to registered, and the CME Group cannot tell you how many of those ounces, that 272 million, could actually be freed up. It's up to the seller or the holder of that to put it to register for delivery on a contract. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is not necessarily a pool of available metal. It's a pool of available metal. The private holder hasn't put it in another contract. It doesn't have another obligation, and they like the price. Well, historically low silver prices, to me, compared to its 1980 non-inflation adjusted high, and the fact that we're running net short on the silver production the last 2 years to the tune of over 100 million ounces. To me, the $23, $24 silver price we've been experiencing the last couple of months is not going to get these 272 million ounces out of private hands. So this last year was about 150 million ounces. Right now it's sitting at 81. We're almost a half of what we had last year in available silver. So to answer your question, I don't know when the price shenanigans are going to turn around. I don't know when the bullion banks are going to go net long, but I sure as hell know that it's being taken off the free tradable stocks on COMEX. That means something, and we're almost at half of what we were a year ago. This is huge. This is completely huge and something to take care, something to pay attention to. Thank you, Dumb Money Media, for coming back in and giving the contribution. We will stay tuned for your commercial for the events. And thank you for producing a commercial for us. We appreciate all of your support. Nick says, same squeeze again would have them by the short and curlies. I do believe so, because where are you going to SLV? If you look at the first squeeze, the last couple of days, January, first day of February, 110 million ounces taken out SLV. That's in the London OTC market. I was showing you data from the COMEX. I believe that both the London and the COMEX are now going more and more short silver metal, more and more short. It's harder to determine on London because they don't publish all the data, but on COMEX it's blatantly obvious, unless they're lying about it. They have no reason, though, to lie with a lower number. You think they would lie with a higher number to build artificial confidence. So I believe it's either 81 million or less. It's almost a half of what it was last year. So this is big, and the metal is moving off. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that you need to remember that is most important, remember the money flower. What's sitting at the bottom? Gold and silver. The elites know this. The BIS is the central bank of the central banks, the elite financial institutions by definition. And it's not cash or Bitcoin or Fed coin or settlement coins or electronic reserves or regular bank reserves or Berkshire's or Pokecoin or any of this other garbage. Those are derivatives of precious metals sitting at the bottom of the tree. One could also look at this as an inverted Exter's pyramid. The BIS just reconstituted Exter's pyramid, where gold and silver are at the bottom and everything else is up here, but specifically for central bank financial assets. Not for commodities and things like that, but specifically for central bank assets. This is basically Exter's pyramid for the central banks, if you will. And precious metals are at the base, and it has been since 2018 when they had this version, and then they started to define some of this stuff in the middle as this, as it was developed. By the way, the other thing to point out in 2018, they knew about central bank digital currencies. We reported on it in 2018, I believe April of 2018. We've been writing about it because we saw this. We saw this even before it was reported out by the BIS. We saw it on the IMF website, on a paper that they had and a blog posting that they had. They've known about the central bank digital currencies and the role of the private currencies like Bitcoin in cash for years. And now they've updated it with where all this stuff fits in. Okay, that tells you what's going to be the most valuable. And the metals coming off the COMEX offer registered into eligible or even off the exchange, which has actually happened, basically tells you what the elites are doing. They're taking the metal off the market. Why? Because it's the ultimate risk-free asset, wealth preservation asset. That's what they're telling you. The elites in finance are telegraphing to you what you should be involved with if you want to protect your wealth. Now, if you want to speculate on those other things, that's fine. But don't come and tell me that Bitcoin or the central bank digital currencies or cash are safe havens over gold and silver, because they are not. They're speculations. They are speculations. Raymond Chalmers comes in, says physical metals for the win. Thank you, Raymond Chalmers, so much for the contribution and the support. I appreciate you very, very much. Let's see if we have any other questions in the chat. We do have a comment by Dude Boy. He says, woohoo, stackers are in the catbird seat. That is exactly right. Chase Wilson says, I wonder if the WEF cyber attack world simulation would come into play in the near future. There has been World War III going on from a cyber perspective for over 10 years. I don't want to get into details on that. In this video, I'm going to cover cyber more. Upcoming, as we expand the channel, we'll announce that later. But yeah, being a guy with a master's in cybersecurity and having worked in cybersecurity for almost 10 years and in technology overall for 25 years, yeah, that war has been going on for quite some time. And I think the WEF's response to that in the activities were a public display of, hey, we're trying to address what's going on right now, which is cyber attacks billions of times around the world every day. Good point to bring up. Wayne Faulkner says, the flower, why did I not show SDRs? That's a good point. I think SDRs is the central bank to central bank currency equivalent, if you will. In other words, as the central bank digital currencies get produced and put out there and replace the physical currencies, the SDRs is going to be how the central banks value against each other. I guess it's going to be the exchange rate, if you will. Too much probably to explain on this video, but yeah, I think the SDRs are there, but the SDR basically is like a layer of derivative above everything else that just allows you to, allows the central banks to communicate currency with one another. But SDRs aren't going to be tradable by the average person. So if you look at the flower, that's what the average person can access: gold, central bank digital currencies, private digital currencies, or what the banks support their balance sheet with, such as reserves and things like that. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. Hopefully that makes sense. Keller's Car says, Canada has no gold reserves. Do you think they will confiscate the mines if they get desperate enough? It's possible. Everybody worries about confiscation of the mines. I don't think you're going to confiscate or nationalize. I think they'll tax them, or maybe they'll buy with fiat currency and force them into exchanging fiat currency or central bank digital currency for the gold and silver. But I do think they're going to compensate them. I think if they went and just robbed them, that will cause a mass outcry by people, especially in the middle of a currency panic. Because what are people going to be turning to? Gold and silver. And if they start robbing the mines, basically, there's going to be an uproar. So I think the way that they're going to do it may not quite be an outright confiscation. I think they're going to transfer value for value, but what they're giving is a digital or paper asset for metal. And they're going to make it look legit so that people don't go nuts on the government. That's what I suspect is going to happen. Rob, says Sarge. How you doing, Sarge? Good to see you here. I'm glad you're in the stream. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us a couple of minutes. We had some technical issues, but we've been going strong for about 30 minutes. Kristen Rowe, thank you for joining. Wishing you the best. Saw you back in August. Hope you're going to come to our January 26th virtual event. Would love to have you there. In fact, I think we are going to talk about that again real quick before we sign off the air. We have a virtual event coming up. It is called the 2022 Metals Kickoff Conference. Link is below. You can click here to register for free. These are all of our wonderful speakers. We'll actually have more than that because we'll have some people coming from the mining companies as well. And I may add another person to the roundtable. Lots of companies. If you're interested in getting information, you'll be able to talk to them directly. And we will have an after hours event or a meet and greet event. This will be from 5:10 to 6 p.m. and it'll all be done on the Hopin platform. Want to see you guys there. Also, remember, if you're interested in precious metals, go to our website, Gold Silver Pros, click on precious metals deals. We have 4 companies there. I recommend all of them. We have Miles Franklin, Silverback, American Gold Exchange, especially if you're in numismatics, they're a great place to get that, as well as bullion. And we also have ARC Silver. Lowest price precious metals you're going to get anywhere. Just want to throw that out. And you would be supporting the channel if you're interested. All right, everybody. I think that is going to wrap up this live stream. Stay tuned for Thursday. My blockbuster interview with James Anderson of ST Bullion is coming up. On Sunday, we have a recording from our Denver event at Loaded Bar, where several prominent analysts in the space. We're going to bring that to you on Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to that. And of course, we're always here on Gold Silver Pros to answer your questions. Appreciate you guys coming into live streams. We will do a live stream every week from here to infinity so that we can connect with you guys. Remember, this is Cowboy Metal live stream. We broadcast from the great state of Texas, and we take no bullshit. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're going to wrap this one up. Appreciate all the support you've given us. Stay tuned to the channel. We got more content coming out. And remember, CPI numbers are coming out tomorrow, so we're going to talk about inflation. I will guarantee you I will do a break-in video segment in the morning as soon as I can. Tomorrow, stay tuned to the channel for that. Until next time, this is Rob Keens with Gold Silver Pros.